Yo, can you try to form South Africa as India? You might see we don't have that in our nation formation, but we will be able to conquer South Africa, and then it will appear in our nation formation, and that's going to give us claims on England. And if we time it at the right time, which we're going to try to do, of course, we will be able to get South Asian heritage cultures, all the Indian cultures, as well as having Boer culture, which will let us have 5-year incorporation on British states, which is going to be really nice. So now in terms of tech, we're going to start out by researching water tube boiler, and then I think we're going to start going for society techs. We really want to try to get to human rights and not civilizing mission. That's the wrong tech. Human rights and pan-nationalism ASAP. And we actually want human rights first, but the plan is we're going to try to pass multiculturalism and then try to get independence from the British ASAP. And we need pan-nat when we get independence, and we want to get multiculturalism before we get independence because once we get independence, the Bajralocks and stuff stop wanting it. You can see here right now they're sovereignists, which means they endorse multiculturalism. Now also we're going to invite this random 25 popularity character because he's going to join the utilitarian movement, and that's going to slightly increase its support, which we want because we want to try to use the utilitarian movement to ban slavery if possible. We'll begin bolstering the utilitarian movement, as well as inviting this exile, which starts in 25 popularity, so he's a little bit better than the other guy. And that's going to trend the utilitarian movement towards 9%, which is pretty decent. Now we're going to try to get the Bajralocks in government, along with, I guess, the Zamindars to make it a little bit more legitimate. And if we go down to tax level, we're going to pass something that the industrialists really dislike, which is laissez-faire. Now, normally the industrialists like this, of course, but in India specifically, they very much dislike this, and that's because of, I think it's Malthusian, or no, colonialist. This gives them the want of extraction economy, instead of wanting an actually good economic law. Extraction economy is terrible. But the reason we want to make the East India Company so mad is if we simply unpause for a day real quick, you'll see that they get very mad. And there's actually an ability to resign if the IG has less than -10 approval. So you can simply resign, and that'll give us -10% authority and 2% loyalists. But most importantly, we'll get rid of this terrible, reckless character, which we hate, and we replace it with some random leader of the Zamindars, so we can just make a new government led by the Zamindars. We want everyone who will help us support the passing of agrarianism, which is going to be our first law, if possible. So we want the Bajralocks and Riots in government. Not very legitimate, so we'll have to choose between one of those, I guess. I guess we'll choose the Bajralocks. Is this more legitimate? Yeah, it is. Okay. We'll just start passing agrarianism now, because laissez-faire is a little bit unrealistic to pass with the stall chance that it has. Now, there's a couple of decrees we want to spam at the start of the game. Social mobility in these states, which are the most populated ones, along with encourage agricultural industry. Oh, we have one too many states for one of these decrees. I guess we'll not social mobility agra since it's an unincorporated state. It's not as important to get literacy there. Now, we're also going to build up a couple of construction sectors, which we're going to try to use up. We don't really want to build in West Bengal because there's low infra. We could build a railway after we build our construction. I think we'll just try to build it in Bihar. I believe Bihar has some iron mines and stuff. Yeah, Bihar is a pretty decent state. I think let's build like Altai actually in Bihar. It looks like a pretty nice state to build up in. And then we're going to go back up on taxes and down government wages. Keep mill wages high though to keep the unstable Raj from triggering. And yeah, we're gonna be ready to declare war now, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna declare my first war against Kelsa Raj for Punjab, and we're gonna take their other 2 states. We're not gonna take Jammu though, because without the reckless, you don't have enough maneuvers. But we're gonna get their 3 main states. Unfortunately, for some reason, it doesn't transfer Jammu as a subject. I'm not really sure why it doesn't, because in most cases, when you conquer the entirety of a country, you do get their subjects. I'm not sure if it has something to do with using return CBs. Oh yeah, also after these construction sectors are done, we're going to build some government administrations in various states with low taxation capacity, ideally in states with high GDP per capitas, but I'm not really sure what states those are. The state's got like 0.3 or something, I don't know. West Bengal's got our best GDP per capita, so maybe let's just build them in here, even though it is going to be low infra. We can just build a railway afterwards, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna easily defeat them in these battles because our army is way larger, of course. And we're also gonna move our interest from Persia into South China and from Himalayas into North China because we want to declare a war against China pretty early on here. Okay, we get this event, the Mountain of Light. I'm not really sure what causes this. The capture of Lahore, whatever. Anyway, we're not giving the British their things because we actually want bad relations with the British, kind of. Yeah, I should actually start damaging relations with the British. I forgot to do this, but it's not that important to get low relations, but we do want it because we want to try to get independence quickly. And we also want to try to conquer Cape Colony, and we can't do that until we have below cordial with the UK. Oh, we conquered all of Punjab. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, as you can see, we did not get Jammu as a subject for some reason. Okay, we're going to take a treaty port in Suzhou because we need something in South China. Britain is our interest in North China for the Opium Wars. And then we're going to add Chinese war reparations. And we're going to move our interest from South China into Manchuria. Now we're going to wait for our interest in Manchuria to appear. And then we're going to add a bunch more war goals and call Britain in. So our interest has appeared. Now we're going to call Britain in for a... Wait, we can call them in for a regime change in Tibet. That might be better for us, but it's going to make Britain have to wait and go all the way to Tibet. Let's not do that. Let's just give them an Eastern Guangdong Treaty Port. And what we want to conquer is North Jilin and North Heilongjiang, because these states have lots of potentials for gold, along with Beijing, just because it's a nice state that gives us a monument for an extra 20 legitimacy. So yeah, Britain's gonna fight this war for us for the most part, probably, but we might need to help out a little bit, because I think the AI might... Or, well, Britain's leading the war, but they don't have their other subjects in, so we might need to help them out a little bit in order to ensure they actually win this. Because we don't want Britain to, you know, sign a peace deal where we get British Indian war reps enforced on us. I'm going to begin subsidizing railroads as well, because that's going to be very important to get right. Britain's getting pretty close to landing in Beijing, and maybe we pass agrarianism this tick. Please, please, RNG gods, let me pass agrarianism. Yes, the RNG gods are on our side. Reinvestment goes from like 18k to 64k. And that's just because the extraction economy is so bad. Look at this, minus 75% contribution efficiency. It would be so much less than 18k as well if we didn't have this profitable estates giving us some amount. Well, it's going to hurt reinvestment a little bit, but I want to go for slavery banned ASAP this game. Let's go for it right now. And yeah, we're going to make our government, it's going to be very illegitimate, but hey, it's what's got to be done. Riots, civil servant, let's just make it everyone, actually. Yeah, the everyone government. The people's government. And yeah, this should just help us pass slavery ban. The reason we're not getting blocked from passing is because we've got the utilitarian movement. If you have a movement, you don't need to have legitimacy in order to pass laws. If you look here, I think it must have political movement to enact laws. So we're going to take the minus relations with Britain, of course, because we want to try to get as low of relations as quickly as possible with them. Okay, we get lucky and we get our first one as a success. Nice. You know, it's kind of really funny that you don't get minus enactment time while being in this legitimacy bracket. So sometimes you actually want to intentionally tank your legitimacy under 25 if you have a political movement helping you, because it will make you pass the law faster. Anyway, we're done with the war with China. Now we got lots of diplo packs coming in from these Chinese war reps along with our other subjects, but you know, Chinese war reps definitely are going to help out a little bit. We're still actually running a negative balance, which isn't great, but hopefully once we get rid of slavery ban, we can go back to passing something Zamandar's like, which should make us have more reinvestment. Pro-country lobby towards France is very nice. Let's declare some rivalries so that we can, yeah, sure, let's rivalry these random countries, and then we'll start improving relations with France and Russia, I guess. And we want to try to get good relations with France, because with that pro-lobby, maybe we can get a alliance if we have good relations. Another success, let's go. The pro-slavery movement starts, but it's not radical enough to start a civil war. We would like if it started a civil war, kind of, but it's not going to. You get a British dictate. Yeah, we're not following that. Okay, well, we got triple success in a row on slavery ban. That's what? It was like 1 in 27 to get that, right? Because 1 in 3 to the, yeah, third power. It should be like 1 in 27. Nice luck. It's slavery banned instantly. Very nice. Now, I'll start passing debt slavery just so that we can make the evil movement go away and we can have a legitimate government. No, we obviously don't actually want to pass this. Just go to this government, I guess. Have some nice legitimacy. And yeah, once this pro-slavery movement starts calming down a little bit, we should just stop doing this. We don't want the utilitarian movement to start a civil war, that's for sure. I forgot to swap up to atmospheric engine pump. Oops. A little bit of a mistake. It's gonna cost us some tech progress, but yeah, it's a little unfortunate. But hey, we just finished water tube boiler now, and we can swap up to that. A little bit of a classic Connor mistake. I mean, this country should really start on Atmo engine because they have the tech. Why does it not? Who knows? Zamindars want us to pass the caste system. Yeah, we can't do that. I think it's time to stop passing slavery. And yeah, the pro-slavery movement is almost below 75% activism. We should just be fine now. I think I've got a fake past caste system in order to make the zamindars happy. Although it's going to make the utilitarians mad. Or wait, is it not? I thought this does. It only barely makes them mad, actually. So we're going to declare on Cape Colony to annex them in order to form South Africa whenever we are ready. And we're going to conquer Eastern Cape and Northern Cape as well. But first, let's call the British in. We're going to give them Hyderabad to join the war. You might think, why would you give them Hyderabad to join the war? And that's because we're not giving them Hyderabad to join the war. There goes Hyderabad. They got a doctrine of the lapsed away from existence. This cost us quite a bit of infamy, but yeah, there's not really another good way to call Britain into this war, so it had to be done. Wait, why am I mobilizing for this war? The UK is going to fight this war for us. Now that the war begins, South Africa has left the British Empire and stopped being a British subject. Even if Britain isn't against them, they'll still get independence as long as Britain doesn't join their side. It's a little bit interesting. So theoretically, in like multiplayer, you can force yourself independence if you have two people on subjects, unless you have a player on Britain stopping it. Although you can, I think, still force one of the players to go independent. So interest is actually costing us a decent amount. So I'm gonna pause construction till interest goes away. Also, we're about to lose war apps from China, so that's unfortunate. And actually, it's 29 months, so I actually got a little bit of time till that happens. Anyway, we've annexed India, or not India, South Africa, which is great. We could form South Africa now if we wanted, but then we would lose out on the ability to gain the Indian cultures. But it's a very valid pathway. It might actually be the most theoretically optimal. You just like speedrun independence from this point after you form South Africa, because you can't get the India breakup event if you form it. Get some grassroots support for caste system in force. That doesn't really make any sense, but yeah, we're obviously going to take the loyalists in Bombay. That's going to be really nice. Gonna shoot down our radicals a tiny amount and give us a lot more loyalists. No, the British have called us into a random war against the Russians with the Ottomans. Yeah, we're gonna stop passing caste system enforced because it's making the Riots big mad. Maybe we can go for caste system codified now. Yeah, that'll make the Riots a little bit less mad and keep the Zamindars still happy. Okay, we're in the yellow and money now, so let's unpause construction. We gotta build the greatest wood farm in the history of wood farms, but also iron. Iron is pretty important. We should really check what we want to build based on economic dependence here. You know, there's British Indian buy order satisfied by Great Britain. This is the important thing to look at. Coal looks like the good we need the most of right now, followed by tools. All right. But we'll try to make sure we build some of those things to get rid of our economic dependence. Okay, I want to start going for laissez-faire, so we're going to exile this guy who's a protectionist to get a sovereignist. All right. Now we're going to imprison this agitator. And since the modernization movement pressured the landowners, we can simply grab a market liberal landowner, grant leadership, and then quickly put the Badrolox in government, and we should have pretty good success rate on laissez-faire. Yeah, 41, 17, 40. It's not terrible. And well, it's gonna make the royal folk unhappy, which is bad, but the Zamindars are happy, so that's something at least. And the Badrolox will be sort of happy. So the French government is intelligentsia plus industrialist. We're gonna match that government real quick because we want to get an alliance with the French. So yep, owe an obligation to the French, and then we get an alliance. Very nice. Now let's go back to our passing government for laissez-faire. Now that we've gotten our France alliance, we're going to go for the conquest of Asturias, along with Spanish war reparations. And we're not going to be calling in Britain, of course. We're going to be calling in France with our great alliance. French, they're a great ally. We love the French. Call ally. Very nice. The Spanish are fearful, as they should be, because France is super strong. Why are so many members of the utilitarian movement radicals? Like 50%? Wow, this movement must have like, wait, none of the things here are, so it's just 1 million of our bureaucrats are radicals, I guess, and this movement support mostly comes from bureaucrats? That's crazy. I guess I should be building ports in North Jilin, or North Heiliongjiang is actually way better because it's got way lower construction malice. We build ports in these states so we actually can get our gold and stuff to spawn. Sure, we'll dismiss the power of the Riots. That sounds fine. Bruh, the evil French didn't mobilize enough to win the war. Well, we'll have to send over 100 stack to defeat the Spanish, I guess. Okay, 100 stack has arrived. Now the front is very much in our favor. 100 stack on the front. I'd say fair passing isn't going too great. I mean, it's going pretty good. We just need to not roll another stall, please. Actually, we have 3 setbacks. We should be just completely fine, right? Okay, we can now enforce on Spain. Very nice. We'll start incorporating our new state. Yeah, never mind. We're not actually, we actually don't want to make the Riots unpowerful is what I'm realizing, because they're kind of a good interest group. Get a cautious leader of the Riot, or of the Bajraloks. He's traditionalist. Yeah, I think we'll take him, sure. You can see a peculiar reconciliation. Yeah, okay. Get the Zamindars happy over banning slavery now. We want to keep the pro-French lobby, that's for sure. So Egypt sided against France in this play, so we can now steal some stuff from France. I think it's pretty obvious that we want to bankroll here. It's going to be like 20k. If it was actually 20% of our income, it'd be so much better, but it's not. Okay, well, it just declined another dictate, so now we have minus 50 relations. We'll just quickly request all 3 things, and this is going to make our Libby Desire start skyrocketing. We really need to start building unis soon, I think. How's our budget is still pretty bad, which is not great. Okay, we really don't want to make the Riots angry, is what I'm realizing, but yeah. France will give me French Guyana to help them out. This is American, not French, yeah. It's a civil war in France. We can give French Guyana an obligation, or some of these other states. Um, I think we'll just take French Guiana. Sure, it's a state. Alright, I'm gonna build 20 unis. I want to get the techs ASAP. Getting independence is gonna be thing we want to do ASAP, and we need the text for that, so we gotta rush it. Oh, this is a big civil war. Uh-oh. Yeah, this isn't looking good for France. France is gonna get crushed. Uh-oh. Yeah, if Russia joined the other side, if Russia joined our side, we'd be so winning, but Russia is just too strong. I don't think we win this. Unfortunate. Actually, you know what? We're mobilizing 100 troops to try to win this. Going in. I don't know if we make it in time, but maybe we will. We just need to make it before they take over Ile-de-France, and then we're good. I think we can maybe hold the front if we get there. Oh, the convoy issue. Oh, that's going to make things a little bit trickier. We'll see. Got a serious lack of convoys, which might mean that even if we get on the front, we actually aren't going to be able to defend it, but we'll try our best. We get laissez-faire in. Nice. Spain side with Great Qing here. And they want return Asturias. Oh, this is annoying. Britain better not give that up. Oh, I'm gonna be so mad. Anyway, I'm gonna start trying to pass pub schools now. I wanna try to get the education up a little bit. You know, more literacy equals more tech spread. Okay, well, it looks like we lost the Civil War. I wasn't really paying attention, but unfortunate. We'll start improving with New France. I'm gonna quickly take a detour to research dialectics so we can get the better uni PM, and then we'll go back to trying to research these texts. Success chance isn't looking great. I'm gonna put the civil servants in government to make the success chance a little bit better. I'm gonna start using my return CBs in the west here so we can consolidate colonial rule. Probably should have done this a little bit ago, but it's not too big of a deal. Maybe let's actually not use an army this big. Let's use you. We don't want to spend quite as much on mobilizing army if possible. This is really bad. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we failed passing public schools then. Unfortunate. Have to take the civil servants out of government. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Wait, what? How did I get both so quickly? Kabul couldn't have backed down because we only got one, right? I don't know how that happened. I'm gonna go for Macron now, along with Kalot. That'll be some more states to conquer. We need all the states in the west, along with protectorating Burma, I think. Quickly put the universities onto philosophy department. That'll be nice. Now we're getting 4 from unspent innovation, and we got 100 weekly innovation. Real nice. So we can't really afford to construct with this. I think we've got to pause construction for at least a while now. Because, yeah, budget isn't looking great. Actually, before we go pause construction, we need to build 3 coal mines in Asturias, please, so that we can then get the company going here. Violent suppression, road maintenance. We need this company going quick. Well, China joined against us in this play against Chitral, but they didn't add any war goals against us. Like, they didn't take return Beijing or whatever. So I don't think we're going to add anything against them, especially because this front is very undefended right now. So the hope is that we can just push through here and then wipe pieces of China afterwards. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but seems like a decent plan, so maybe it'll work out. I don't know. Oh, the Heavenly Kingdom spawns right as we do this. Interesting timing. Heavenly Kingdom, is this Heavenly Kingdom like bare? It's not quite, it's like a little bit bigger than the requirement for unrecognized regional, unfortunately. Now, we could support the Heavenly Kingdom for an obligation. How much of, they got 1321 of, they lowered the China's power projection by quite a lot. We can probably make Heavenly Kingdom win, but it's going to come at a big expense of our budget. I think we can afford it. Let's do it. We must make the Heavenly Kingdom take over China. We'll take an obligation for our troubles. Now in this war, they do want to take Beijing from us. Well, we can't actually go on that front. Okay. That's actually a bit of a problem. I guess we're going to push out from Chitral, because I don't think we make it to Beijing before they occupy that. So we're just going to push super far from Chitral, hopefully, to connect to Gansu. We're actually, yeah, we only need to make it to Zangaria, and then we'll connect, or Qinghai. And we're about to enforce on Chitral, and then shouldn't be too bad to get over there. Just a matter of winning these battles. Shouldn't be difficult. Chitral will cap any minute now. Asturias' final coal mine is about to be finished. Does it require a amount of... I don't know. Okay, there we go. Durawi Campania can be built. Oh, we have another company slot already. Take the wood company. We must save the Heavenly Kingdom at all costs. Can our troops actually save them, though? I don't know. Hopefully they can. Let's build up a one stack, I guess. Org, so we can hopefully land into something with it. I don't know where we'll land. Maybe into Manchuria? Looks like they have no defenders to that. I actually don't know if they have defenders anywhere. I can't tell. Oh, we've got a 40 advantage on the main front right now. That's pretty good. As long as we can keep that up. Just push into Southern Anhui. We should be able to win. Our money situation ain't great, but hey. The final battle for Southern Anhui. Let's go. We're gonna make it in. The Heavenly Kingdom shall take over all of China. Yep, there we go. It's in. Now China's losing. So we're losing on the front due to too many attack battles, I guess. We're gonna stop attacking. Also, I tried abdicating to get public schools on this movement, but it's not been very nice when I tried that. It gave me like 20 million radicals, so that wasn't very good. I don't know why. Like nothing. It says it should give me 10% landowner radicals, not like 20 or not like 12% pop radicals. It doesn't make sense. I'm so confused as to why that was happening. Yeah, we're gonna put everything we can on the front. Try our best to not lose this civil war. I think that we should be able to win it because China's gonna cap in like 20 weeks anyway, and we have 100% occupation on Southern Anhui still. Okay, apparently China's willing to accept peace now, so we'll take it. Big Heavenly Kingdom. The evil Persians are getting protected by the Russians. Unacceptable. You know what we must do against this? Protect them ourselves. Now, previously, this wouldn't work, right? But at some point, they changed it so that what's going to happen here is Russia's going to take them. Our war goal is going to transfer into is going to turn into a transfer war goal. But it's not going to like force Russia into the war or anything. And when we enforce, it's going to transfer it. I have no clue why this is how it works. It just is. So now it's a transfer war goal. So unless Russia joins the war, which I think they have too bad of relations with Persia to join probably, we should just be completely fine. Actually, it's going to brick it, isn't it? Because they're going to turn back independent after the war starts. Oh. Is that going to brick it, or is it going to turn it back into a protectorate war? I actually don't know. We'll see, I guess. Does it brick it, or does it turn it into a protectorate? We shall see. Or maybe the transfer will still work, even though they don't have an overlord? I don't know. Okay, they back down, so that works, I guess. Honor establishing princely states. What do you think this is? A nonsense world? Unfortunately, this will make our other princely states very mad at us for not establishing more. But it is what it is. Who cares? Anyway, time to return state Sind. Sind is the last one in the west, and then we get to, or well, Kandahar has a little bit, but I think we probably don't need that. I don't know. Once we take this, maybe we can go forward the protectorate on Burma, and hopefully that'll be enough to consolidate colonial rule. I'm going to start trying to pass public schools again, because I'm hoping that this event will just go away. Yeah, the event just goes away when we stop having the movement, because I didn't really want to click any of the options in the event, and they were all really bad. So we just have to make the movement happy. So we'll go for public schools. And the princely states are going to get mad at us yet again. Very mad. But hey, if they declare independence, that sounds like free land to me. Heavenly Kingdom's going into debt. Very nice. I'm gonna start researching a little bit into pan-nationalism because want to spread the research between these two so we can utilize ahead of time penalty a little bit better, you know, as our tech spread researches these other tier 2 techs. Okay, let's go for the protectorate on Burma now. I'm surprised we're only at 50%. I feel like we should have more than 50% of eligible states right now, but yeah, hopefully protectorating Burma will give us enough, because otherwise we might have to do colonization. I don't think we need to do colonization, though. I'm like, surely we don't need to do colonization, right? Yeah, let's go for Baluchistan. Oh, they just gave it up. Okay. We're trying to damage relations with Oman, because we want to go for theirs, of course. Oh, France is guaranteeing independence. Yeah, that's not great. We want to improve with France, but that's super bad that they are guaranteeing the independence of Oman. And the Princely States get more mad. Okay, Protectorate Burma. Now we're up to 76%. That's not good. Wait, what states does this include? Okay, here's one that we need. Okay, Denmark refuses our demands. How dare they? Yeah, Britain doesn't want to join for anything reasonable. We'll take their treaty port in our country as well, I guess. Conquer Danish Carnatic. And yeah, that's just all we want from Denmark, really. Then we need to either take the state from Kandahar, which I didn't realize we needed, or we need to damage our relations with Oman and get the treaty port. And I think that getting two... Okay, Denmark backs down. Oh, that gets us up to 80%. Oh, okay, I thought we needed another one, but never mind. Get a solid frontier. So we can get, yeah, let's get the plus relation to the princes, I guess. And now we just need to complete the unstable Raj. Okay, we're going to wait to pass public schools before we start trying to complete the unstable Raj, because the plan is to make the Riots get this plus 20% agriculture throughput along with lowering taxes, and hopefully that'll raise everyone up by an SOL. But we do need to get the agriculture throughput in order to do that. How much enactment time are we at? Minus 50%. Nice. Okay, we passed public schools. Nice. Get the Riots in government, and we need to go for something they like a lot. So let's. They want extraction economy. That's crazy. They want it by 10. It's actually so sick. That's so insane. Maybe you go per capita. It claims to be more money. I don't think it actually is, but we'll go for it anyway. So we got the plus 20% agriculture throughput there, along with low taxes. Will hopefully let us get plus 1 SOL on all of our pops, you know, hopefully. Go check in on our pops now. They got huge progress towards next wealth level. Surely they can just... Okay, well, they were only able to get up to one SOL extra. 9.7? Can we get any more pops going up in SOL? We'll see. Maybe we can get some more pops. It's like, will Agra have a pop go up in SOL is the big question. It looks like the answer to that is no. Can we encourage agricultural industry in more states? That maybe help. 9.7 is not great. Maybe giving away Agra is just enough. She's so far behind. Okay, let's try giving Agra to Ode. Maybe that'll bring us up enough SOL. Let's see. 10 SOL. Easy. So, now the thing is, I kind of want to just invoke the Doctrine of Lapse and fight the people that are supporting independence when they decline. But the only problem I see with this is I think that if we annex them via the normal Doctrine of Lapse, we don't get radicals. Like, if you look at Hyderabad, we don't have Hyderabadi radicals, really. But I think that if we annex them, if they decline, I don't think it does. So we're going to maybe try to give them enough states to get their levies are low enough that they'll just accept the Doctrine of Lapse. Because otherwise, I really don't want to get those radicals if possible. Being below 25 will guarantee an exception, or an accepting, I believe, of Doctrine of Lapse. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I believe so. Looks like it. Anyways, we win. Well, no more unstable Rosh to deal with is a pretty big W. Gotta love this new company we stole from Awad called Company Headquarter. Dura Campania's doing real good at 34 levels. Does it have 10 in West Bengal yet, though? Looks like it actually doesn't, so it's gonna grow way slower. Maybe... Okay, so there's a bit of a problem here. Or it can expand this one. Let's just build up, like, 2 more coal mines here. Hopefully Dura Campania will buy them, and then once Dura Campania buys them, they'll be able to expand much larger. Because if you have under 10 levels in your home state, you expand way slower. I actually don't know if it needs to be in the same industry or not. Oh, the Ottomans managed to reclaim Egypt. Interesting. Maybe they'll be able to complete Tanzimat. Well, this would have been an easier way to get 10 SOL, I think. Yeah, that would have been a lot easier of a way. Oh, did we remember to go back up on taxes? Oh, we didn't. Oops. Yeah, well, now we're going back up on taxes. This reminds me, I think that I'd discovered there's some way we could figure out actually how much this is actually going to give us by being on very low taxes. Now it shows 213K. If we do this, it's going to give us 163K. It's really weird. It will show, like, I think if we go higher, it might show the correct number or something. I forget how this works, but 161K. Maybe it will actually give us 161K. I don't know. We're running a positive balance and the investment pool is. Maybe we can actually afford more construction for once. Let's go. 10 more construction sectors. Let's build them. Things ended up actually reducing our tax income a little bit relative to what it was at before, but it's not that big of a loss, so we're not gonna stop passing per capita or whatever. We're not gonna try to go back to land-based, because it will soon end up being a gain, I'm sure. It's just a matter of how long. Just researched human rights, so go pan that next. Start pass. Oh, we need to. Success is not looking too great on that. Bengali national movement is not big enough. Or wait, what was I? 9%. We need to get the Badrulaks in government, right? We'll just start passing it, and then we'll get Indian national movement mid-pass, and then that'll hopefully make our chances a little bit better. I think we want to declare independence. Let's quickly see everyone who can get to support independence. Is it just France? No, Russia and France are both gonna be willing to support our independence. Is there any British subjects we can make join us? There's a couple. Chiang Mai. These are all Siamese. Do you really want to make Western Australia? Because it's actually like almost all of Australia. I don't think we want to make any of these guys really go independent. Lanfang, maybe? Actually, Lanfang. We'll bring Lanfang with us, I guess. Although they will probably just get occupied anyway. We'll try to help them out. And yeah. So luckily our leader of the Quadrilox is a sovereignist, so even if we get independence, they will still support us passing multiculturalism. Yeah, we're gonna demand independence. Due to our people joining us, there's actually a 7% chance they'll just accept, but they don't. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go for conquer Ceylon as our only other war goal, I think, pretty much. Is there anything else you really want to add? I don't think so in this war. And we could go for like Kenya or something to try to stop colonization. Wouldn't be a terrible idea, actually. Maybe we go for Kenya. It's only 8 infamy. Yeah, we're gonna go for Kenya to stop them from colonizing. Conquer Kenya. Probably mobilize some troops. You know, even with the Russians and French helping you, you still do need to fight a war in order to win it. Probably. Not really, but we can just imagine that you do. Heavenly Kingdom's getting pretty close to bankruptcy. That'll be nice. Maybe we can get an early China protectorate, which will be very nice if we can manage it. I'll use my one boat I'm pretty sure we have to naval invade Kenya. Yeah, we've got one boat. Go for Kenya with that. Hopefully the French and Russians can do enough to defeat the Brits. Oh, North German Federation just formed. Is that attacking France right now? Yeah, it is actually. That's not great. Get Punjabi customers not wanted. Not very good. Yeah, once you get Pan-Nat, this law pass should get a little bit easier. Because that will unlock the Indian national movement, which will have a huge amount of support behind this. Well, if we won that battle, it would have been the occupation of Ceylon, but unfortunately we don't win it. About to get Pan-Nat. Please, multiculturalism, don't fail me. Okay, that's not a bad law tick. Good, good, good. We're about to get Pan-Nat. I think disbands the Bengali national movement, but will replace it with some good national movements. Let's stop bolstering utilitarianism and modernization. Get ready to bolster the Indian national movement in 6 weeks. Okay, we're actually it depends on. Oh no, it looks like we're gonna win. Yeah, we'll just get the occupation on Ceylon in a second here. Only 2 more weeks till we get Pan-Nat as well. Yep, there goes the occupation. Very nice. Pan nationalism is now. Okay, Indian national movement should spawn any second now. Okay, yeah, here it is. Get some nice support. Bolster this. It's gonna. Oh, yeah, the movement is trending towards above 25. Okay, good. Okay, let's maybe have some troops defending our homeland, guys. Let's not send everything over to some random other front. That would not be a very advisable strategy. Also, I think we want to get into another war, because, yeah, once this war is over, we want to have another war, just in case we haven't finished multiculturalism yet, so that the Indian national movement doesn't disappear, because I'm pretty sure once we become India, that will disappear. By the way, this movement's trending towards 41% support. It's pretty big. Before we go civilizing mission, let's actually go steel frame buildings. I think that's going to be more important. Alright, activism in the Indian national movement's about to hit 25. That's going to make our law's chance a lot better. Yeah, basically guaranteed to pass it now. So apparently France landed in London. Interesting. Okay, cool story, France. Anyway, we'll take our independence now. Very nice. We're gonna have to pass multiculturalism and, yeah, that is a small problem. Very, very small problem. Just, minus 100% authority. We'll deal with that. Oh, we also have minus 100% legitimacy. Well, whatever. I don't think we can make a legitimate government very easily anyway, so we'll have to wait till after we're done passing multiculturalism to deal with these things. Okay, we passed multiculturalism. Very nice. That means we can now actually deal with this war against Nepal, I guess. Let's quickly hire some more generals. By the way, we've got all the current guys on defense. That's how we haven't pushed into Nepal yet. Yeah, we're just gonna try to intentionally, or we're gonna try to beat Nepal now so that we can trigger the end of British rule event, and that's gonna be good. Okay, now Nepal is annexed. Any second now, we should get the end of British rule. Surely, just give it a second. What could possibly go wrong if we get the end of British rule? Now we're gonna form South Africa. Now, a little bit of a thing. If we click become India first, then this event will swap to giving us claims on the Boers and all of India, which is an interesting option, but I think I'd rather have claims on England. You can make an argument that you want the claims on your subjects so you can annex them for cheap infamy, but we're going to take the claims on England because I think that's going to be a little bit interesting. Get some claims on Boers as well. And then now we become India, and we get Boer plus all the Indian cultures here, which is going to be nice. Our color is not white or whatever, it's purple. I wish it was orange. Orange is the best color in the history of colors for India. Everyone knows this. I don't know how the Paradox devs don't know this. They must be fools. Anyway, we're gonna put government administrations on standardized filing systems and use our new incorporation speed that we've unlocked to start incorporating India. Although we're gonna need more government administrations built in order to do this. But I think I'm going to stop using a bunch of authority now, because it's making everyone big mad at us. So, consumption taxes, let's remove the social mobility and agriculture industry stuff for now, because I just want to have a functioning country without minus 100% authority, giving us minus 10 approval. That would be kind of nice. And now we're going to start passing monarchy so we can get our authority back by creating a Sov empire. For now, we'll just have no block till we can create that sovereign empire. So apparently the Indian national movement still exists while you're India, it's just a little bit weaker. Interesting. Surely it's going to go away at some point. All I know is that it will get weaker because discriminated against is going to be a less important feature, but it's still surprisingly strong. It's also weird this movement gets benefits from having the techs unlocked, because you need those techs in order for the movement to spawn, I'm like 99% sure. The anti-British lobby is so happy, so we're getting like huge approval on the badge locks even though we're not passing anything they like right now. I kind of don't like. I actually would kind of want to resign this guy from office so that we could get a better ruler for our monarchy, but I think we'll just get a new ruler after we become the monarchy is going to be the plan. Oh, the Heavenly Kingdom is bankrupt. Nice. It's not dropping to unrecognized regional, though. Unfortunate. Must have some prestige bonus or something. Oh, Hong Shi Quan is keeping them out. How dare he? How dare he? That's so mean. You darn popular commander. We got all of India incorporating now. Very nice. Slowly passing the monarchy. We keep on getting mass migrations from the Heavenly Kingdom, which is very much appreciated. Heavenly Kingdom just giving us so many migrants. It's actually crazy how many migrants we're getting from Heavenly Kingdom right now. Mongolian uprising happens right as Russia declares a war on China. It's crazy. I assume there's nothing we can really get from Russia. I mean, a trade agreement is something. Nah, we'll just stay out. Sulfur is in very short supply in India. We shall import some sulfur from the French, from the British, from the Russians, really from the everyone. Good luck, Britain, with enforcing that war goal. I'll use paper bleaching. We need more paper to solve our... Okay, we need more lead as well. We can probably build lead at home, right? There's some lead in India. Not really. There's so little lead. Oh no. Time to import lead as well. There's so little lead in India. We really need to conquer Britain. Britain's got such good stuff for us. These states here got loads and loads of lead. Okay, we just got steel frame done, so start swapping up to that. That'll help out a lot, I'm sure. Yeah, we're already running explosive shortages. Let's start building some explosive factories in our capital. Maybe we didn't need quite that many. I don't know how many we need. We're gonna need some, that's for sure. Maybe we should have gone to mechanized workshops. We're not actually even tech spreading mechanized workshops yet. Let's go for that instead, yeah. Good old Persian protectorate expanding a little bit into Kandahar. Gotta love it. I'm gonna temporarily go down a tax level just because I want to stop eating that minus 50 or plus 50% enactment time. I'm using a decree on road maintenance in West Bengal. I should not be using one in Asturias. Oops. Yeah, we need to get as much minus enactment time as we can on monarchy because I want to start passing some other stuff. And I want to try to stop having the trade unions and stuff be big mad at us. Okay, explosive factories are starting to come online. Start swapping up to steel frame on a bunch of our construction. Explosives are going back into shortage, but they're about to stop being in shortage again. You can just run all steel frame now. Nice. Explosives are in slight shortage, but that's gonna go away as more explosive factories come online and employ up. Now I just need to fix the prices of this by building up some steel mills and stuff. You know, let's build like 10 steel mills, 20 glassworks or something. We really don't need quite this many explosive factories. We'll delete all the ones that aren't currently in construction. We'll use some of these spare explosives to turn on nitroglycerin in some of our other PMs here. You know, can't do wrong with some nitroglycerin, except we can do wrong in these ones right now because we don't have enough demand for them anyway. Okay, I'm gonna use my return CB on Orania, I guess. You wanna try to attack recognized countries if you don't have civilizing mission yet, so I'm gonna attack a recognized country. Oh, we can actually form an alliance with Russia in exchange for an obligation. You know, I'd totally do that. Oh, also we got monarchy. Nice. Well, let's form the alliance and then create a sovereign empire. Great timing. Let's go through the list here, see if there's any names specific to India. Sure, that's close enough. I don't even know if that's generic or not, to be honest. We need to declare a rivalry with someone. Well, we'll declare with the UK. I guess that's going to be enough for now. And then we'll create our sovereign empire. Now we have 2K spare authority. I'm going to quickly invade Transvaal as well. We must expand our great African empire. Okay, we're going to go back up to high taxes now. It's a little bit tough, but we got to do it. Also, we should use this authority. I guess we'll use some encourage agricultural industries in most of our states. Maybe do manufacturing in West Bengal. I think it's probably our only state that's majority manufacturing at this point. Just spam this decree like everywhere, pretty much. Let's start going public health insurance. That's going to be pretty important to get quickly. We've hit 100 million GDP, pretty nice. We're actually running a positive balance. Unacceptable. More construction must be made. More construction. Our mechanized workshops research is done. Okay, let's go improve fertilizer into pump jacks. It's going to use some pretty nice text. And let's also use our tech we got. Okay. Well, that's going to make passing this quite a bit faster. China is very much bankruptcy spiraling. They just declared bankruptcy and they're already in debt. We got a Han mass migration from the Heavenly Kingdom to Indian Mysore. Crazy. Not that big of a mass migration though, because it's just such a small state. If it was to a bigger state, we'd actually get a pretty large amount of pops probably. There's a bunch of Koreans moving to Transvaal. Crazy. I didn't expect playing India this early when we have a GDP per capita of 0.5 to be getting mass migrations. I want to take back my rightful homelands of England, but unfortunately, North German Fed would join if we did that. So we're going to declare for the South Atlantic Islands. You know, what a great territory that we really, really want. We definitely want the South Atlantic Islands. Britain just, you really don't want to surrender the South Atlantic Islands, right? You really needed that territory. I'm sure you really needed that. So, oh, we need an interest in England and stuff to add our other war goals. Yeah, we'll just call ally, or what you want? Humiliate Great Britain. Is that the same price as call ally? I think it should be. Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll give you humiliate Great Britain then. It'll make them want to stay in the war a little bit more, I think. And now we're gonna wait for interest to appear, so you can add war goals against the British mainland here. Surely Britain won't back down. Yeah, they're only -40. We'll add all 4 and Britain won't back down without any primarying, I'm sure. Conquer home counties, conquer Lancashire, conquer Yorkshire, and conquer Midlands. Now, I have to take a slight detour from building construction, or building, like, useful buildings to build not useful buildings, aka a giant navy of, like, 160 ships or something, so that we can actually, like, land the British Isles. Okay, we passed public health insurance. We don't have the bureaucracy to level it up yet, but we will soon. For now, we're just going to be defensive until we get enough troops to go on the offensive, which we definitely don't have yet. So the British just landing cheesed me and got into East Bengal, so that's not great. But we should be able to push them out, especially if they go on that front, hopefully. Just push them out, please. Please push them out. Come out quickly. You dare landing cheese me. I will take you out for landing cheesing me. Please. Yep, you're destroyed. Out. Oh, Britain's landed in Russia. Maybe this is our opportunity to start trying to land in Britain. Probably not going to succeed, but we'll just start our naval invasion. We can be ready if they ever leave it open in the future. We've got too much guarding that strategic region. Let's try going for the north here. We gotta defeat their boats. We've got a pretty big navy. It's slowly growing in size. We do need to level up our admiral so we can command our larger navy. Yeah, why do we only have 7 offense? Okay, well, we'll give up our landing. Oh, these troops are, like, irregulars. Okay, well, that makes sense. Oh, they landed in East Bengal again? Okay, let's kick them out again. So for some reason, the British only have 1 troop defending their strategic region. Let's go for landing along with the Russians, which are going for 2 landings. Or one is the Danes, actually. Pump them out and try our own landing. If the 1 troop is leaving, okay, well, I guess we just get in the UK then. Nice. We'll start shipping the guys over here, I guess. Come over, guys. Raise the conscripts. Come over here. You gotta make it into England. And the British, you fools, are dedicating too much to the naval invasions. Oh, well, they made it into Mysore, so I guess they are getting some benefit out of dedicating that much, but not enough, because you're gonna lose your country. Yeah, you're already capping. Okay, Britain's willing to accept peace. We'll take it. Very nice. Even though they're in our country, doesn't matter. Get some nice little expansion into Britain now. Start incorporating these wonderful states and start leveling up healthcare and education. We get our first block mandate. I'm kind of torn on what to do. Advanced research or construction. I think we'll go advanced research first. Okay, well, we got the improved fertilizer tech, so let's start swapping up some farms to using the fertilizers PM. You know, we gotta start using all that fertilizer we've got, and we'll swap all these to improved fertilizer as well. And that should help out with our grain a little bit. It's still pretty expensive. I want to build a big rice farm somewhere. Maybe Agra? I don't know, West Bengal, or we could do it in East Bengal maybe. Does East Bengal even have rice actually? I don't actually remember. Yeah, it does. Let's build some in East Bengal. Yeah, like 100. Gotta love the Heavenly Kingdom constantly bankrupting because it's giving them huge radicalism, and you know, radicalism is one of the greatest ways to get mass migrations. Tons of people just coming into West Bengal from over in China. Interesting Confederate States borders. They got Oklahoma and stuff, but they don't have Mississippi. Yeah, we're gonna stop over to this government real quick because I want to quickly start enacting colonial exploitation because, you know, getting colonies going is going to be pretty important. Who are these Han people from Russia? I don't get it. I don't feel like there should be any Han people in Russia. Where are they? Cultures Han globally. Where are there Han people in Russia? I'm so confused. I don't know who we're getting mass migrations from. Maybe you can check one of the states and see where it's getting mass migration from. Northern Sakars. Qingdao. Oh, Qingdao. Okay. Okay, we passed colonial exploitation. Very nice. I guess we'll start colonizing over here first. And then once this is done, maybe we'll work on colonizing the rest. Apparently we have another colonization slot. I guess we'll go for Zulu. I want to try to become a parliamentary republic, so we're going to invite this character. He's pretty popular, so hopefully we can hopefully we can make him, okay, yeah, we can make him the leader of the quadriloques. Let's do that real quick. And, okay, so that's not a very good chance to pass. It's going to be tough to get back to republics. Let's go for it. Maybe we'll get lucky. If it looks like we're close, maybe we can put on creative legislature or something. Also, I think having the Kingdom drop down recognize regional because they've been bankrupting like every 8 years. Well, since we don't quite have civilizing mission yet, I think we're gonna leave it. Some could also say I tried getting it and they became an unrecognized major too quickly. That would never happen. What are you talking about? You just finished the colonization of Arakan and Mandalay, but also the absolute movement is civil warring. Well, it's not quite trending towards 100, but it's trending close enough that it's almost certainly going to end up starting a civil war. So we're gonna have to decide what we're gonna do about that. And we're also gonna start making some colonies in, what's this called? Severe malaria. Yeah, this is the amount of colonies we need once the port gets built. I think this is definitely a winnable civil war, but it's a bit tricky. It's got West Bengal and stuff, so it would definitely be a bit of a tough civil war. Okay, we gotta stall. I think that's gonna just mean we cancel passing this, because it's not worth fighting that large of a civil war over this, I think. I think instead we'll start passing secret police next, because getting the minus political movement activism is going to be super nice. So a revolt has spawned in Great Britain, which is a minor power, which means we can get a protectorate off of it, -5 acceptance. But not -5 acceptance. If we do this real quick, then they will like us a bit more, and in fact they will like us by 1 acceptance score, which means that we can quickly get a protectorate. I'm going to take a screenshot of this real quick, for playing in my Discord. But yeah, we got a nice little sway there. And yeah, I'm gonna go on these fronts because we gotta help the Civil War win. It's perfectly balanced. Oh, Germany is supporting the UK. No, we must stop this evil Germans. How dare you? All all Indians shall be conscripted and sent to Europe. Okay, our troops are nearly arriving on the fronts. Okay, looks like we got the overwhelming advantage, which is great news for us. Not even all of our troops have arrived yet. No naval invasions are impending doom. Alright, looks like you just win this civil war. Shouldn't be too difficult, even with the Germans having the largest military ever. The Germans have more power than us, but I assume, yeah, they aren't mobilizing that much for this. What did Britain even give them? Like an obligation, I assume? Probably, looks like it. Oh, we're actually losing on this front now. Okay, everyone go on the defense, because, yeah, you're not going to make good progress right now. You gotta hold for now till the Germans are out of the war or something. Advanced Research 3. Nice. An accidental discovery. Oh, I should not have taken minus recovery rate there, but whatever. Yeah, let's limit our damages to our relations with Germany. Our revolt is in default, but all good revolts go into default, so this really is not a problem, right? A revolt going negative war support, but doesn't matter, because us can't go negative war support unless they take the capital. It's kind of weird that that's how it works, but it is. So yeah, Germany's going to be leaving the war pretty soon here. Like half a year, a little bit under half a year. Get secret police in. We should probably build some more government administration then in their states that have low tax capacity. Yeah, you need like 30 more. Build it in various states. You need loads of government administrations for tax capacity anyway. Oh, they're really pushing us in the south. Okay, we're gonna move our big army to the south to try to stabilize the south because it's not looking good. Yeah, and then we should be able to push in the south even after that happens, but also Germany's about to leave the war, and that's gonna mean that, yeah, now we win. The French went from plus 25 advantage to plus 75 advantage. Not close anymore. Just are winning. Well, the war with Britain ends soon, and we're at very low infamy, so we're going to declare on the Ottomans, or sorry, first we're going to reduce Persia's autonomy, then we're going to declare on the Ottomans here for make protectorate. It's just under 50 infamy, which is a pretty decent deal. Now, in a couple days, Britain is going to capitulate, which makes our bloc pretty big, pretty nice. You gotta love having Great Britain in your bloc with all their great, amazing subjects. I guess I'll call ally on Russia into this Ottoman war and make it a little bit easier. Okay, we just got an Ottoman Empire protectorate. Very nice. done with the war. I don't want to improve relations with them, but we don't really have any spare Diplo. Should probably rival some more people. Austria is probably not important. Sweden's probably not important. Our relations with Germany are minus 90. Probably can't salvage them. We'll just rival them, I guess. And then we'll start improving with Great Britain and the Ottomans, I guess. I just realized I have native interests like everywhere now, so I can declare interest in a whole lot more places now that we got that British protectorate. Yeah, pretty nice. There's a war between Mexico and the United States, and between Mexico and the United Kingdom, and we need to support Mexico, or we need to support Great Britain, or else Great Britain will break independent. So we're going to support them. I don't think we really want to fight this war, but I don't want to give up Mosquito Kingdom, so I guess we got to. Should really start using some of these automatic irrigation PMs. They're real great. Let's not turn on opium yet. Let's just turn on the rest. Yeah, we're already running an engine shortage. Start building up some more motor industries real quick. That'll be nice to build up loads of motor industries. Yep, okay, finally loaded. Lots and lots of motor industries. Okay, we're gonna put Colonial Offices 1. We want to go to rush Colonial Offices level 3 here. Get that minus infamy gen. Well, with Secret Police well on its way, I think we're gonna... Oh, we could get this Nihilist. I'm trying to figure out what we want to do. We need someone to try to... Yeah, let's get this Nihilist. There was a Republican I was gonna do, but the Nihilist I think is gonna be better. And he's gonna... Okay, he supports the modernization movement. The petite bourgeoisie are not quite pressured by, but they're almost, so we should bolster it real quick. The petite bourgeoisie should hopefully get pressured by this, and then we can just grant leadership to this guy. And with the power of secret police, we should be able to pass public without getting a civil war, hopefully. Okay, let's reduce autonomy on Britain. I'm kind of interested to see how much influence we're going to lose by taking all their subjects. Okay, only like 50? I'm surprised we lost so little. How did we lose so little, actually? I feel like usually puppets and protectors cost less, or cost more than this. Like how much does it cost to Protectorate Canada, or Dominion, or whatever? I guess we'll never know because the menu keeps closing on me. Um, okay. Oh, we have to go so deep into this in order to find Canada and stuff. It's only 10 per? I thought it was way more. Okay. Makes sense that we only spread 50, but nice we got all those new subjects. We're at 1350 from authority per subject. That's quite a lot of subjects. Yeah, got a big good thing. Now everything's purple. Okay, we got Scramble for Africa, which means that we finished researching malaria prevention. Very nice. I mean, you're gonna start colonizing a couple more states. I guess we'll do these states. I'm gonna build a port in this state, because, yeah. I'm gonna start building some rubber plantations. We're really gonna need them, because I wanna start building up, or I wanna start swapping up to machine steel tools. I don't actually know if we have any rubber in our market. Looks like we have a little bit. Let's swap up all the rubber that we control to automatic irrigation, of course. We want to slowly swap up everything to automatic irrigation, really, but yeah. Rubber's in very big shortage. I don't think there's anyone we can really import it from. Oh, actually, we can import a lot from the French. We'll do that for now, until we can build up our rubber in our own states. I kind of forgot about this, but yeah, we want to grab this nihilist, and we want to start trying to pass this. Oh, we got an anarchist movement. That's kind of interesting. But it's, or we want this to get to 25% activism so that it will help us pass, right? So we can, I assume that it will help us pass at least, right? Yeah, it likes parliamentary more than it likes monarchy. So let's start by passing presidential, then cancel, and then we should have the anarchist movement boosting our success chance here. Yes, we do. All right, go for parliamentary now. A 300-day ticks is a little bit sad, but yeah, parliamentary is a bit of a slow pass. Or we can do this government, and then we'll stop being in low legitimacy, which should make it pass a little bit better. Well, the absolute movement is currently trending towards 91, but what's it called? Civil servants are very mad because, yeah, we need to make them less mad so they stop giving us plus 10. So let's just do this real quick. And now they'll no longer do that, which is going to be good. Get rid of that plus 10. Now they're only going to trend towards 81% political movement activism, which is not nearly as bad for us. Can deal with 81%. Oh, we unlocked steel railway cars. I guess we'll turn that PM up. It'll help us out with not having to build as many railways. Going for Siam here. Just started leveling up the Colonial Affairs Institution, because we're about to get Colonial Offices 3, so we want to be prepared to get that minus infamy gen against China, hopefully, which is going to bankrupt pretty soon, probably. It's actually only 37 million debt, so probably got a couple years till it bankrupts. Okay, I think this option is more expected value, barely. We'll go for it. Okay, we get unlucky. Our GDP growth has really started going exponential since like here on the GDP graph, which I think is when we started using machine steel tools. So we've had some pretty incredible GDP growth since then. Also, the colonization of Africa is going pretty nicely. We just finished one of the colonies, so we'll start a new one. A new power block mandate. Colonial Offices 3 unlocked. Nice. Imagine how much better of a weekly balance this building could have if it didn't pay out 300,000 in wages. POV, the shopkeepers have more SOL than the capitalists. Okay, we passed Parliamentary Republic. Nice. Now we need to try to get a cautious ruler if possible, I guess. Our Grant Leadership cooldown isn't up yet, so I guess we can just look through all of our characters that we currently have and see if any of them are cautious. I assume none of them are, but we can just quickly check to make sure. Yeah, we don't have any yet. So I'll just do a quick little conquest of Bukhara for now, I guess. Maybe we should have not conquered that state first so we could use the return CB that Persia had, but whatever. I just realized we actually need a voting law in order for the Republic law to work. So, yeah, we need to figure out what voting law we want to go for. Landed voting would actually be liked by the landowners. Yeah, we need to get on something. Wealth voting is not wanted by the industrialists. POV colonialism is crazy. I don't know, plutocratic makes them really like wealth voting. Well, we need to get some sort of Democrat, I guess, if we want to fix this, I think, or we can maybe, no, we gotta get a Democrat, surely. I mean, we could go landed voting, I guess. Let's invite this radical guy. He's gonna be good. Supports the modernization movement. Let's rebolster that, actually. We want to get this guy as soon as we can, because he'll support universal suffrage. We should have used a radical, clearly. And we could have done this easier. Go probably wealth voting, because we want to have it be actually a reasonable success chance, and having 52% of people disapproving is going to be probably too much. Russia's going for a Portugal protectorate? What is this nonsense? Spain joins against Russia. You can get a state. Elizabethopol. Will you give me Baku, please, Russia? I'd like that state a lot. Baku. Where's that in the list here? Baku. I can't find it in the list. No, where's Baku? Ah, there it is. They don't want to give it to me. How dare they? That's so rude. I want that state now. How dare you not want to give it to me, Russia? This is unacceptable scam. Heavenly Kingdom just keeps getting secessions. Oh, if only this had been a little bit later, maybe we could have swayed them for subject. No, no way. We're in low relations, but you'd be pretty close. German Empire sided with Russia in this play. Interesting. It looks like this may not be the bankruptcy that we managed to subjugate China, because they're still being way too close to the prestige threshold. They're only 20 away, and they still haven't even dropped the regional yet. They need to drop. Yeah, they still have like another 3% prestige to gain from bankruptcy before they drop. So for some reason, it looks like the Protectorate of Portugal Wargle got bricked somehow. I'm kind of confused how that happened. What happened? I'm so confused. I don't know. All I know is that they're losing, or Russia's definitely winning this war, and Portugal and Spain are definitely losing. Hey, well, the Heavenly Kingdom, at least while it's still existing, it's still giving us lots of random mass migrations to various spots, which we'll take advantage of for sure. Although, wait, actually, they're kind of far away. How many? Yeah, they would have just dropped, so we don't need to reload or anything. Once this war escalates, maybe we'll try to protect your China. It's like, oh no, that the prestige thing they need to reach just dropped by 20 or to drop by 10. No. How much does it go up if we raise our government wages? I wonder. If we do this, it goes from 225 to 235. They need to get 25 prestige. It's not that much. So a Mongol uprising has appeared in the Heavenly Kingdom, which is a little bit interesting. Although we still can't sway the Heavenly Kingdom, unfortunately. We don't want to bankroll them really, because we want to make sure they still go into debt. Yeah, we'd kind of like to sway this Heavenly Kingdom, but we can't really. Are they already an unrecognized major? Yeah, they are. Okay. Anyway, lower back down government wages. So we need to fill our construction queue. How dare the Egyptians side against me? Unacceptable, Egypt. I think you're gonna have to lose Lower Egypt for that, so that you can become protectoratable. POV, you're just accidentally creating West Bengal into like the greatest mega city ever. We've almost got 50 million people in here, and we're not even really trying to get people in here. We're just getting the most ginormous mass migrations from China ever. Okay, we can reduce autonomy on the Ottoman Empire. Starting to incorporate all of our random states now, might as well, right? We've got a little bit of spare bureaucracy to do it. A little bit of a nice thing about Sokoto is they've got 45 lead mines here, and you know, we are pretty short on lead, although not yet, but like, we are gonna run out of lead probably. Unless we're extracting good amounts from the British, but I assume they probably haven't incorporated this. Or actually, they have incorporated Leinster, but not some of the other states, which is, it's kind of good that we're getting some of this incorporated, because it's gonna mean they have decent literacy in those states, and thus we can do some foreign investment to get the resources going. We definitely want to try to get these lead mines and stuff in Britain going. Maybe we'll just annex them though. Yeah, that's probably not too bad of an idea. We just need to get cautious first. Um, Speaking of which, let's actually, yeah, the border locks are more important. So grant leadership here, and let's start passing wealth voting. Except that we're illegitimate apparently, so let's swap to this government. Grand Union to Africa is going really well. We almost own like half of the African interior now, I think. We got quite a bit up here and a bit down here. I think we're doing 6 colonies right now because we have a 20% bonus, so it doesn't make sense to cap it at 2% right now. Back before 1.8, you could have colonies in all these states, and if you had a large enough incorporated population, you could do them all, but now every country is capped to 10 colonial growth, unfortunately. We got 2 mandates saved up here. Let's go food standardization 2. Increase our pop growth by like 0.3%. Nice. That was close as China to bankrupting again. We're in 18 million debt so far. Grassroots? Sure. Oh, we're barely running a deficit with this much construction? Unacceptable. Time to build more. Yeah, Lancashire and Yorkshire, you can get capped on construction goods. How many construction? That's only like a 10% increase. We need more. We're running out of good states to build construction sectors in, really. We have to start building them in Africa, unfortunately. These states aren't that bad. That should be a good increase to construction for now. No more royalists, except for the petite bourgeoisie. Except, actually, we don't have the petite bourgeoisie, because our country doesn't have the petite bourgeoisie having that characteristic. I don't actually know what that one is, but if you look at China or something, we can see they have meritocratic instead of, or no, what is the one that they're missing? They're missing reactionary, and they replace it with modernizer, and that makes them no longer want monarchy. So none of our interest groups want monarchy. Or no, the priests do. What? I don't think that's normal. Maybe it is actually. Yeah, I guess that might be normal. GDP growth's been pretty insane. We're already at like almost 900 million GDP. 869 million. Oh, it dropped to 850 million, but still pretty good. Okay, we passed wealth voting, which gives us a new chancellor of our country. Interesting. How close are we to grant leadership cooldown? Another 25 months. Alright, well, we gotta wait for the election in order to have a legitimate government. Like, the Free Trade Party's gonna win it. Alright. Let's do this so the Radical Party will get more votes, I guess. It gets a little bit more votes with that, which is kind of nice. We need to figure out who we want to make our leader once we get the leadership cooldown. Looks like we don't have any petite bourgeoisie guys. We have a trade union cautious? No. Armed forces or rural folk? Are the only other interest groups we can really make our leader? Didn't look great. Okay, there's a rural folk guy that we can maybe do. Ooh, a Dutch radical revolt. Can we maybe subjugate these guys? I don't know. Let's see if they'll be open to a quick little subjugation. Minus 101? I mean, you know, maybe if you stop a government. Yes, I swapped to the Radical Party, and the Dutch Radical Revolt does indeed want to become my subject. Let's go. Big nice. Oh, the French don't like that very much. Yeah, the French really don't like that. How dare the French not like that? I'm just exercising my free will to subjugate your friend, okay? So you should really just be happy for your friend being subjugated, you know? Austria sides against us as well. Looks like we're gonna need some more boats. More boats, so we can land with a larger landing army, you know? All the boats, all the better. Build more boats. Build more boats. Build more boats. Build more boats. Build more boat. 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 I'm gonna try to speedrun landing in Holland before they can take out Galway. Because if they take out Galway, it's gonna become much more tricky. But maybe we just land in Holland quickly enough. There's a Dutch fleet here. Okay, well, we're not landing then. Can we land in Friesland to connect the front? Because that's gonna be in the North Sea. Yes. No, they've got armies to defend against us. No! How dare they make an army to defend against us? That's evil. That's against the First Amendment, clearly. Blatantly against my rights. How could they do this to me? Okay, we need to try to land in Holland now. Just keep alternating back and forth, I guess. We need to land before... Oh, we got in? No, not quite. No, we're so close. No, we weren't. We only got 2 battles, apparently. Yeah, we need to upgrade this navy to ironclads, clearly. Or else we're just kind of doomed. Also, the French and Austrians are in the south of our country, but that's really just a minor inconvenience. In fact, it's actually a convenience, you see. They can't be attacking, or they can't be defending the Netherlands if they're attacking me, you see. So, this is all part of the master plan. Dutch revolt once they're on market. Alright, we'll give it to them. There's 2 high of liberty desires to decrease autonomy, dang. I think we're about to tech spread breech loading artillery, so we'll wait for that, and then we'll upgrade this guy, or, yeah, let's upgrade everyone, and we'll try to get some, we need to find an army with a lot of artillery, try to use that. We'll build some artillery, I guess, over here, that we want to try to use to get enough to land Netherlands. Okay, we unlocked shrapnel, so we'll go for that. Also, we're kind of low on infamy. Maybe we try to protect her at the Egyptians, even though that's kind of a little bit of a scary thing to do while in this war. It'll be fine. Surely Egypt will just back down if we had enough war goals against them, right? I'm gonna quickly grab this cautious guy, because we did want to make him our leader. You know, to get the Rialton government, so let's reform to this. Grant leadership, and then I guess we'll kick... I guess we can put the armed forces in and out to get the new leader. It's gonna be least radicals. Yeah, okay. Now we got our cautious. Should have done that before the war, but whatever. I'm gonna remove the huge amount of conscripts from this army and move it to one of the armies that's over in India, because we want to try to defend our country if possible. And the Trust HQ is not under our control. Okay, you go over there and grab a couple conscripts for you. You can hopefully defeat the evil French and Austrians trying to take over our country. We deserve this country, not you. Go on this front. Need more conscripts as well. Need a lot to win this war, probably, but it's very important. We need to take over the Netherlands. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a naval invasion on Holland. Let's see how it goes. We've got a lot of boats here, a lot of monitors, a lot of ironclads. Okay, we get our first landing battle, and we're winning it. We should have turned on mobilization PMs. That would have been good. Would have definitely helped out a lot. But, hey, we're winning, so that's good at least. Or not. Or we're not winning. Can you please roll something better than mud? Please don't roll panicked retreat. Please. Okay, well, that's better than mud. Okay, we're winning now. Great. It certainly is one of the battles in the world. We need to deoccupy quick because we are kind of capping out of the war. Actually, the Netherlands is going to cap out way faster than us. Yeah, they're going to die pretty soon here. They've got only 14,000 manpower left in that army. Just need to defeat some of their stupid navies. Oh, they just brought back a bunch of troops. So if this doesn't take it over, which it probably doesn't unless we get like a rapid whatever at the last minute. Yeah, it shouldn't take it over. Then we're probably not gonna be able to land this time because it's gonna fight us with way more troops next battle. Yep, we're 96% in. It all comes down to this next battle, except it doesn't. We'll just have to try again if this battle doesn't work. But you know, it kind of all comes down to this next battle if you think about it. Except it really doesn't, but we really want military statistics for that plus 10%, if possible. Okay, let's see. Oh, we're winning! Yes! We need them to keep rolling bad things like poor visibility and us to not roll terrible things, please. Okay. Logistics secured is not bad. What do they roll? Oh, they still haven't... They're still not at the point... Or wait, they rolled blunder, actually. Okay, yeah, we're just so fine. Yeah, we keep rolling good traits and they keep rolling bad ones. Okay, well, we're gonna get into Holland now, and that should just mean that, yeah, they're capping at total occupation apparently, because we have shadow occupation on Friesland for some reason. Oh, we're trapped in a naval battle, so our troops can't arrive on the front. That's what you love to see, yep. But anyway, oh, we're trapped in another naval battle, so our troops still can't arrive on the front. That's also what we love to have. Another naval battle, so our troops can't arrive on the front. Please, troops, get on the front. This is so dumb. No. Stop fighting naval battles, please. Um, okay, I think we're into the front. Yeah, we are. Netherlands is going to cap any second now. And that's going to be great news for us. Next tick, I believe. Yep, there we go. Netherlands are our protectorate now. Oh, and we have a billion GDP now. Nice. Yeah, now we're on the Dutch East Indies and stuff too. Now I want to try to get on proportional taxation. It's going to be way more money if we can get it. Oh, the Portuguese want to become our subject as well. Oh, we'll gladly help out the Portuguese with their subjugation as well. That will be greatly appreciated by the Indian nation to have a new subject. I think we're making good progress pushing here. We've also got a naval invasion set up for it, but I think my troops for that are pretty far away. But I think we're just gonna manage to push into Portugal kind of pretty easily here. Got minus 48% occupation by Portugal and 54% by Spain. Really cursed. But yeah, we're winning these battles pretty easily because I assume these states have pretty good infra, yep, relative to the army size that the Spanish have. We're just kind of gonna be able to, yeah, we pushed into Beira, which is the capital of Portugal. Oh, but Spain has them as an overlord. Okay. Just took a quick look at the Heavenly Kingdom, and they're a minor power with a pretty long way to go till they hit major power status. So I think we're kind of safe to quickly go for a protectorate. We could have done this a little bit ago, but I didn't notice until now. Like the Clare Bank, it looks like they've spent roughly another year, which isn't great, but hey, it's fine. We'll just try to add enough war goals so they back down. Maybe they've got defend the borders, so they're pretty likely to back down. I think defend the borders makes them more likely. I think it might do the opposite. I'm not sure. I think it makes them more likely though, so hopefully I'm right about that. A bunch of war goals. Surely they'll back down. They got minus 97 fear. Other diplo plays we're involved in aren't helping out, but whatever. We can't do much about that. Heavenly Kingdom, I command you to back down right now, or else you will be destroyed. Good job, Heavenly Kingdom, for backing down. That's the power of defend the borders, clearly. Free backdowns, mostly because they're bankrupt. Well, Spain's about to give up on this war, which is good for us. We're gonna finally have our good old Portuguese protectorate. This is a pretty good amount of the world for India, I'd say, especially pre-1900 India. And like magic, the Heavenly Kingdom is now a puppet. You see the Heavenly Kingdom, now you don't. I've decided that we're not just annexing China, we're annexing a bit more, so we're just gonna quickly feed Egypt to enough stuff to make them a puppet. And yeah, Tibet's gonna become Giga Tibet real quick. Yeah, India's a little bit, or not, Tibet is a bit larger now. Got a 50% chance of accepting annexation. We'll see if they accept or not. Okay, oh, they accept. Okay, good. I'm going to have to fight a war there for a second, but no. They accept. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, we'll start incorporating Tibet here. Start building out some government administrations, because we're going to need it in order to incorporate this. Go into all the low tax capacity areas and spam like 100 government administrations or something. We need a lot. Not quite 100 in these ones, but certainly quite a few. You know, it's a pretty bad budget deficit, but as we build our government administrations, it should mostly fix up. Also, we need prop tax badly. Please, prop tax. Please pass. You gotta love having 200 million radicals from conquering all this land, you know. It's kind of expected, but also it is still pretty annoying to have 200 million radicals. Got some really high value consumption taxes. I'm gonna put these on. Yeah, we got so much spare authority, might as well put on all these amazing consumption tax options. Is there anything else that's... Oh, tea is really good. Porcelain is really good. Now we're running a pretty good negative balance. We got 20,000 spare bureaucracy. I guess let's incorporate more of China. More incorporation. Click this button until we run out of bureaucracy. Actually, we can incorporate quite a lot here. before we run out of bureaucracy, because we're mostly incorporating... Oh, let's just incorporate everything. We're only missing 2.5K. Nice. I'm gonna reset all my PMs, because I guess New Land probably doesn't have the new PMs, or RPMs. They have Heavenly Kingdom PMs and Ottoman PMs and stuff, so we'll just reset everything. The evil reactionary movement thinks it can stop us. We're gonna have to go down a tax level to stop the reactionary movement, because it's evil, and we couldn't pass our law without enough legitimacy, so we gotta get this prop tax through, bro. Quickly, quick. Prop tax, please pass with this 26%, or else, and hopefully the reactionary movement will go down in radicalism. It looks like it is. That's going to be pretty slow. Okay, well, it didn't pass, but it got a higher success chance, so that's something. Okay, we pressed prop tax. Let's see how that impacts our income. 1.8 minus 1.8 mil. Surely it'll, like, change at all. This is what it was before I passed it. No way income stays exactly the same. I guess we wait till the Monday tick to see how it affects income, maybe. Let's see. Negative 1.8 million. Oh, we were running less construction, so it's going to be tough to tell the difference. Looks like it didn't actually change it as much as I thought. Maybe it was not. Maybe it was 1.8 million before. I don't know. I feel like it should have made a difference. And take a look at what it would say we would get if we were to go back. We'd get minus 760K. So we should have been making at least that big of a difference, I guess. Clearly something has changed because we're running a positive balance with near max construction. So that's a sign that we can build more construction into the Middle East. Ideally, we'd want to do it in European culture provinces or South Asian, but we don't really have any of those left, so yeah, we just kind of have to build it like everywhere is possible. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good increase to our construction. Yeah, hitting 1,000 construction sectors is pretty okay. I forgot to level up to level 5 healthcare. What a fool. How could I do this? Germany thinks I'll sell them the Suez Canal. What do you think I am? A crazy person who doesn't care about the Suez? You could say, let them build it, but no, we'll survey it now. Wahahaha. Make Vietnam a protectorate real quick. You know, the Vietnamese, they don't need independence, right? They need to have a rightful ruler of India. Automobiles are demanded in our market. You know, let's turn on some automobile production. Maybe not in all of them. Let's say Agra at first. That should deal with the shortage for now. Give Agra some good old automobile production. Don't want to crash the engine prices to the moon. It's not really crashing, but whatever. Yeah, the price of automobiles should slowly... Yeah, now it's correct. This building is now more profitable. Actually, really profitable. We should swap up a bigger one. Okay, now we're actually lacking oil. But we can build some oil. Don't worry. We've got lots of oil deposits in our country. Not a huge amount of big ones, but... I mean, we got the Middle East, so not zero oil, that's for sure. Taking Baku would be nice, though. Go women's suffrage. You gotta get that workforce ratio, bro. So Great Britain's trying to establish a colonial administration here, but the game is bugging out. We need to peace out with Vietnam real quick, and then grant these states to Niger so that they can please not bug out the game. That would be great. I don't think... It better not have a colonial administration try to create another colonial administration. Surely that's not possible. Surely. If we live in a sane world, that won't be possible. But maybe we don't, and it will be possible. How much Liberty Cyrus is giving Great Britain? A lot. Well, it has to be done in order to save Great Britain from randomly just stealing a bunch of territory from us. They can keep this a little bit, though, because that's not enough to create a colonial administration out of. Gotta love just randomly getting 70 million people in West Bengal when you aren't even really trying to get people here. Venezuela wants to become our protectorate as well. Let's go. Big nice. Gotta love the great Venezuelan government. We're gonna have to fight America over it, but gotta fight America, you know. Sometimes the Americans are doomed to fight a losing war, especially when Canada joins against them. I forgot to enforce mill access on Canada. I'm such a fool. This is the obvious solution. Must enforce mill access on the Canadians and go through their country into America. How dare America be winning in the Canadian front? And I don't think we're really winning in the Venezuela front that big. Or we're like slowly taking it over maybe. But it's not going good enough. We need our 376 troops. Yes, they're coming over. Nice. We must destroy the Venezuelans. Gotta get that birth rate company. Was it 1 billion pops? That's what we like to see. Yeah, let's go for a quick protectorate on Japan. You know, we don't even need to try to land them because there's this nice, convenient little land border that the British have gotten for us with their treaty port on Japan. Um, oh, there's a civil war going on in the Netherlands right now. Hey, we passed women's suffrage. That's gonna be pretty nice for us. Get some extra workforce ratio. Get everyone working in the mines. Probably, ideally, we'd want to get on like census suffrage or something so we can get more powerful trade unions. Let's go for census suffrage because we can get 20% trade unions. We can get even more workforce ratio. I think it's time for a little bit more construction. Let's spam some construction in China now. All the constructions. How much did we build? Not enough. Liberty, equality, fraternity, free census suffrage. Let's go. Big nice. Alright. Now the next election. That should make the Free Trade Party get far less of the votes, probably. Funny thing is, doing that doesn't actually really make the landers that mad at you because it loses the modifier they get from passing the law, which is really weird. But yeah, it's helpful for us, I guess. I'd like to go free trade, kind of, but can't really do that too easily. What can we pass that would be kind of good? Maybe we could go old age pension. The industrialists would kind of hate it. I guess we can go commercialized agriculture. Really annoying to try to industrialize China when you just don't get any qualifications on your buildings. Very sad. Hopefully, eventually, I put a promotion mobility degree here, so hopefully the pops will eventually become literate enough to work in the iron mines. The audio wasn't working in the clip where I mentioned it, but we canceled our alliance with Russia a little bit ago, and yeah, we're gonna try to attack them once that's over. I guess let's end our trade agreement and start damaging relations. But also, there's a quick little revolution in Italy, and yeah, we can get a free papal radical revolt protectorate, which is pretty nice for sure. We'll certainly take a new protectorate. Okay, Austria doesn't want to give it us, but we don't care what the Austrians think. We will take it anyway. Oh, Russia's against us in this play? That's annoying. That's going to give us a 5-year truce with them. Well, not much we can do about that. It just is what it is. And also, this is actually going to be a kind of tough war. We're going to need a lot of conscripts in order to win this war. Unless papal states, could you become a subject of someone? No, you didn't, so that's going to be nice. We just really need to push out of here into Rome, and then they'll just cap, but it's still going to be a little bit tough. And put these guys on defense, because we're actually losing over here, which is not good. But yeah, we're going to try our best to hold there. Um... Might want to move some troops from this front. I don't know. Maybe we just want to push out here quickly, I think, and then hopefully they'll be forced to redirect some troops from the papal front. We're getting pushed really heavily on this front because we actually didn't assign anything to it because I thought that was going to be equal to this front, but I was wrong. Yeah, let's push out on this front as well, I guess. That's going to be pretty important. We just need to try our best here. Shouldn't be too bad as long as we can just occupy papal states, but that's going to be tricky. I didn't realize America's against us as well. So many people joined against us in this civil war. Let's enforce Alexis on Canada. Make the war a little bit easier that way. Canada, I think, is really disloyal. Actually, just because we have such bad relations. We need to start improving relations with Canada. We can make them more loyal. Hopefully they can force the Americans to contribute a bit less to our fronts. There's 3 Greek troops stopping us. No, the Greeks. They're too powerful. How dare the Greeks do this to me? How dare you? We shall mobilize 100 conscripts to deal with these 3 Greek troops. I'm starting a naval invasion on Rome. You gotta get in quickly. We got so many troops here. Surely they can't stop this landing, right? Surely. Let's put on extra supplies and luxurious supplies. Okay, it's gotta deal with a naval battle or whatever. No, it doesn't. Okay. We're landing. Barely succeeding, it looks like. The landing wasn't really working, so we're just gonna go on the front and try to push. We'll see which of our generals looks kind of strong and try to push with that guy, maybe. None of these guys look too great. Maybe in this army we have someone who looks pretty decent. Not really. I guess you're gonna go on the offensive. Go for for Rome. No way. The Suez Canal Company would be prosperous. Not like we want it anyway. What company do we want? The Suez Canal Company would be like a really small fraction of our income. Now that we're at 2.3 billion, so it doesn't really matter. But, what company would be useful? I guess maybe an oil company would be kind of useful. Austria is apparently ticked out of the war. Very nice. Russia's pretty close to getting ticked out as well. Crazy how long it's taken for us to occupy this. Okay, the war with the Pope, it's almost finally over. It's a long war, but we get to own a third of Italy now. So we lost our cautious. Let's quickly try to look for a trade union cautious because the rural folk joined the party, so now we can't get them as a leader, unfortunately. Okay, here's a cautious, but he wants to join the peasant movement, which doesn't look like a great idea. How close is this to pressuring the trade unions? I assume, yeah, not much. That's not a good idea. Missouri has managed to break away from the US. We've just kind of been invading random Middle Eastern countries to clean up the borders for the last little bit. Maybe it's time to annex Oman next. Yeah, that seems kind of decent. It's only 1.3 infamy for Oman. Wow. Just need a couple more war goals here. Looks like we got... Wait, what? How is Protectorate still a war goal? What territory could they possibly have remaining other than those states? I have no clue. Huh. Like, unless they have territory in Belarus, I should have an interest wherever they have territory. What? France joined the war on their side. It's not too big of a deal. I don't think there's anything you really want from France. Yeah, let's not put any war goals on them, I think. I'm running an illegitimate government, by the way, because the election is going to take place soon, and then we'll be legitimate again. The other party's winning 60% of the votes, and apparently they have 0% of the votes right now. Come on, back down, apparently. I'm gonna build the greatest navy on Earth. I don't know, I'm just trying to spend our money, because we've got a lot of money right now. Are we actually running positive 5 million balance with all 17,000 construction being used? Wow. 26 SOL in West Bengal? Why is there so much SOL here? Crazy. In at 3.4 billion GDP. GDP in China's going up a little bit as we slowly incorporated, although in our states that aren't using the system ability decree, literacy there is still pretty low. Japan's in with the most insane literacy ever, 84%. We're running a really big positive balance. I think we're gonna go down to minimum taxes. Maybe delete some consumption taxes here. Opium and clothes, they're gonna be the most poor targeting consumption taxes. I don't really want to build more construction right now. It's a lot of effort to run 17,000 construction. Got compression ignition, so we're going to start turning up diesel pump in the lead mines and sulfur mines, because these are going to be the most important ones. I guess also gold, because these ones are the resources we lack the most, I think. Do we have plastics? We do. Can we turn on plastics, maybe? That'll help reduce lead demand as well. Nice. Now we got a lot of oil demand, but not that bad. Are we using all of our oil potentials, really? Sort of. Looks like there's still a little bit more to go, though. Got so many loyalists, 365 million loyalists. I wonder how West Bengal is doing now that we lowered taxes. 27.7 SOL. Like SOL is starting to slow down and going up because I assume it's at like the point where SOL is just kind of at its like soft cap of like 25. And where it gets really hard to go up in SOL. Like, you can see this pop is getting 7 more wages, but is only 3 SOL higher. There's a civil war going on in the Confederate States. We're going to try to get a subject out of it. I'm going to request to join for an obligation. Then we're going to go up one relation real quick. Wait, why didn't we not get our obligation? Okay, yeah, we did now. Now we need to go up one relations, and then... Or let's absolve the obligation real quick. Now... Owe them an obligation in exchange for an alliance. Yep. And then we go up one relation. And then we abandon them. And then we ask for become protectorate. And just like that, we've got a Confederate States of America protectorate. Let's go. Reduce autonomy on the Netherlands. Then we'll get the Indian East Indies. You know, that's a classic of playing India. Getting the Indian East Indies. For some reason, a bunch of our subjects' GDP has skyrocketed recently. I'm not really sure what caused that. Maybe it's starting to use more oil or something? I don't know. We're out of infamy. Okay, Russia, give me Baku. Okay, the decline. Well, you know what you get for declining? You get to have market isolated on your capital. Okay. Pskov, that's mine now. That's gonna be somewhere in the list. But there's Pskov, that took a while to find. Now we need Novgorod and Arkhangelsk. And then we can isolate the Russian market. Novgorod, I think is what, or wait, what am I saying? Yeah, Novgorod. So let's look for that real quick. There it is. Then we'll add liberate Baltic governorates, which will primary, and we'll also primary some Russian war reparations. Well, the Confederates put up a good fight, but they just started defaulting, so that should be victory, probably. It's still, like, kind of difficult, because they've got trench, but we should just be able to defeat them, surely. They have better Miltech than us, actually. We should build a lot of unis. Yeah, let's build some unis. We probably should have done this a while ago. Like, actually so long ago, but let's build, where should we build the unis? Built by peasants. We want to look for something that's ideally... Let's do Beijing, I guess. Yeah, Beijing should have decent literacy. Build like 500 unis. I don't know how many of these will actually employ up, but you want to have some unis there to try to get our tech spread up a little bit. Portugal's released their colonies here, so it's time to reduce Portugal's autonomy. Now we have most of Africa looking purple, nice and purple. Well, we're about to start landing Russia, and I don't think they're going to be able to do much about this. 383 troops, half of which are shrapnel, pretty much. Yeah, the Russians, they're just going to lose this landing, guaranteed. We don't even have a landing craft yet, but if we did, landing would be even stronger. We'll probably get landing craft pretty soon with our 500 unis. Looks like we actually might have enough qualifications for this. We have 1,000,000 academic qualifications, I think is exactly how much we need. What else does this building need? Clerks and laborers? I assume clerks we've got plenty of, right? Yeah, we do. We've been losing on this front because everything was in the Confederate States, but they're about to arrive on the big front with our big army. And then we should be, yeah, we'll just be completely winning once this army arrives on the front. But, yeah. The war should just be over pretty soon. How close are we to landing in Ingria? We're actually not that close. Oh, we don't have luxurious supplies turned on. What a fool. That should help out a lot with landing. Yeah. On the bright side of this war taking a while is Russia's gotten into like 60 million debt during it, which is gonna make things all the harder once they become market isolated for them. You're not really gonna be able to recover very well. Although I don't think we're really gonna be able to play till they bankrupt and go down. That's gonna take like probably another 10 years to the truce and everything. But hey. It's the theory that counts, clearly, except it isn't, but it kind of is. How's our universities going? How many are built so far? So you got 400 unis, 800 innovations so far. And that's out with 230 tech spread from unspent innovation. Well, we landed in Ingria, but naval battle is stopping us from getting on the front. Does Russia want to give us everything? I don't know why the peace screen isn't working. Okay, they're 2 acceptance away, so I'll just propose it. And tomorrow they should tick down. Yep, there we go. Now they accept the peace deal. Great news. Okay. I don't know why the game was lagging so much there, but Russia's market should now be cut off. Yes, it is. Okay, that's great news. Let's see how much they're losing each week with the isolated market. And no war. 500K? There's no way. They must be constructing with like huge shortages on all their construction sectors or something. You're only using 30 government construction? How are you losing so much money? 59.9 million debt? What's it gonna go to? 60.4. Yeah, how are they losing this much? Well, anyway, let's put some decrees down in Baku, aka the best state ever. Road maintenance, violent suppression, remote social mobility, and greener grass. And then we start building mostly railways at first. We just need a lot of railways to make people able to move here. Good diesel trains. And then once you get a significant number of people here, we'll then start building up all these oil rigs into a great, great state. Russia's in default. Yeah, that's not great for them. They're already gonna go bankrupt. That's crazy. 700 prestige while defaulting? Why are they not bankrupting? I'm not sure, but they should bankrupt soon. Yep, they declare bankruptcy, and now they're only at 220 prestige. Take on debt is 0, but let next Monday tick. Do they go back into debt? This is the question. No, that's not good. Oh, they are going back into debt. It just took them a minute. Okay, nice. Oh, there's a civil war in Russia. Unfortunately, we have a truce. Otherwise, I bet we could have swayed these guys for a protectorate. Dang. Actually, the Social Revolt is almost certainly going to win against Russia because Russia's bankrupt. Or wait, no. Maybe it won't win because it has less navy and it's going to need to take over the Russian capital in order to enforce. I didn't notice they had East Karelia, but because they had East Karelia, they were able to take the Russian capital. So the Socialist Revolt is going to win against Russia, which is kind of unfortunate because it's going to reset their bankruptcy penalty. But I assume that they're probably in debt. I actually don't know if we can check that or not. It looks like we can't, because I'm sure they gotta be in some amount of debt. We can see here that they are 15 capitulation desire worth of it. Whoa, Japan has managed to make it all the way up to number 2 GDP in the world. That's crazy. They passed up Germany and Great Britain. That's pretty impressive. We'll reduce autonomy on them. I think this is like, yeah, Japan getting to number 2 is pretty rare. Anyway, they're now my puppet. I wonder how much they're gonna pay me for having 200 million GDP. Japan is giving me 250k Diplo pack. That's so big. I actually need more construction. Kind of interesting. We've just been chilling for a while, but we need more construction if we want to grow at this point. Unfortunately, even with minimum taxation, we're making too much money, especially with the investment pool. Dang, that's unfortunate. So the Russian revolt, um, when it wins, it moves its capital back, but it doesn't move its market capital back. So now Russia's saved. Lots of immigrants coming over to West Bengal. It's up to 113 million people, just slowly growing. 27 SOL on this many people is pretty good. Also, half a million GDP just in that one state. Also, trying to bring people into Baku mostly. So they can get this oil plants employed up. Right now, most people are working in the railways to try to get people to come here. You know, having 4,000 extra infra will help with getting more people able to migrate. Clearly, we need to juice up the economy, medium government wages, no more consumption taxes. I've gone mad. Except actually, we just want to hit 5 billion GDP. You know, we must hit 5 billion GDP, or else lame, right? So, just doing this should quickly boost up our SOL a ton, very quickly. Okay, managed to hit 5.1 billion GDP with a little bit of a lowering of taxes. I like it a lot. It's my new highest GDP ever reached without Turtle Island, 5.15 billion. I think this is really ending off the run because or there's very little time left, so I need to upload this video. So I need to start working on it now. So let's do a little bit of stuff before we end off the run. This is the power block map mode. This is the market map mode. I think those are actually going to be exactly the same. Quickly show culture, religion, and GDP map modes. Here's culture. Looks like everything is mostly the same except for Marathi Baku and Korean Urga. A little bit of weird stuff, but for the most part, should be pretty much the same. And I assume the same thing's going to be for the religion map mode. GDP map mode is a little bit interesting. Got a lot of stuff in these 5 states here in North India. Anyway, goodbye.